Hey guys, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Nelson Cuesta. I'm the owner and founder of AgentFire.com. I am joined today by Mark Ramacher, the founder and CEO of Orlando Home Squad. Austin St. John, co-founder of Dippidi, and Dan over at Up Boss. Dan, I guess, is founder and CEO as well. Today, we're going to be focusing on teams and how teams can build the perfect scalable solution. So to give a little bit of background, Mark was in the market for a technology solution for his rapidly growing team. There's lots of options out there in the market. What Mark decided to do was, instead of going with a traditional all-in-one type solution where you're locked into the website, you generally get something pretty generic, you're locked into whatever PPC option they have, you're locked into what's generally a very lackluster CRM. He decided to build the perfect solution by choosing AgentFire for his website, Dippidi for his PPC, Up Boss for his CRM. So that's kind of the main focus of today's webinar is not only a lot of the stuff that Mark has done to have success, like building the solution, but also how Mark is leveraging technology to have continued success and to really aggressively grow his team, which, as you guys are going to hear, is growing really fast. So that being said, Mark, I'll turn it over to you, and maybe you want to just give us a little bit of background as far as just tell us about the team and kind of where things started and how things are going.
Sure. Yeah. I started the team back in 2018. It was just my wife and I. So I was kind of a single agent and then she was the transaction coordinator. And it was just us for a minute. And then in 2020, we actually grew we had about 5 agents. We had 4 in Orlando, and then we moved into the Louisville, Kentucky market. We had a friend that was selling real estate, and we could basically structure it that way. And then 2020 hit, right? We sold about 84 homes in 2020 as a group. Not bad, 25 million, give or take. And then in 2021, we had a lot of opportunity to grow the team. We created a pretty massive training platform. And we grew the team from 5 to about 22 agents in a year. And we sold in 2020, we sold about 84 homes. 2021, we sold 238 at 94 million. And so 2022, we're already pended and sold almost 200, and it's a rapid growth. We're in Orlando, Louisville, Nashville, Jacksonville, and Long Island, New York now. So it's insanely fast. I'm trying to keep up.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. I'm actually from Long Island. I didn't know that you guys had.
Out in Limbrook is where our agent is. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm originally from like Woodbury, Syosset area. So
nice.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the technology journey? So as far as putting together these 3 solutions, what was the first stop, so to speak, and what kind of brought you there?
Sure. Yeah. So I was with I've been with 2 all-in-one solutions, where it was the CRM, the website, and then click on, I want some ads done for me. Right. So as we were growing our brand, I'm pretty proud of our brand. It's just different. We try to be kind of the misfits of real estate. Everybody's accepted. So we do it our own way. We're really big on video and social media. And our brand is we call ourselves the Avengers of Real Estate. Everybody has their own little logo and cartoon. That's our website right there.
Yeah, I'll get it up on the screen right now.
Yeah. So what happened was, I felt like everything I was seeing from a technology standpoint was very generic. Nobody was really great at anything. They were just kind of average at everything. And it was really important for me. We have a really good footprint in our local markets of, referrals or social media or videos or content. But we had no online presence, 0. Anybody who works with us, like, oh, you guys, you should be selling more, you should be doing more. And so the end of 2021, with our team so big, I started to become obsessed with getting an online presence. So I knew the first step would be, I need a new website. And I also know I can't compete with Zillow or Realtor.com or the Redfin, right? So I wanted our website to be about us, about who we are as agents, as a team, our energy, our brand. And then when they're on there, the consumer starts to understand us, starts to like us, starts to know us. They slowly trust us, right? Then they can click on a home. Then they can click on, they can learn. A lot of our videos are educational based. So we have that all on there. So I needed a website where all that could live, right? Where people could go there and be like, well, this is different. This is cool. I like this. Let me just almost like, so the point was, I found AgentFire, and it blew my mind that there were so many options. I had other people design our other websites for, like, templates, and it was like probably 10% of what you guys did for us. So I was always wanting something more. I kept telling people that, hey, in my head, I know what I want, but it's not happening for some reason. I'm not a website designer. So I met with you guys, and I met with William, and he was like, oh, I gotta tell everybody about you guys. And I was like, okay, well, let's figure this out. So, so that's another thing that was kind of a challenge, is that I have 5 markets, right? And then I also have agents in each market that I say, hey, you can have your own brand. You can have your own thing. It's not just going to be like, you're just not a cog on a wheel. You're the front man. So my challenge was finding a place where I could see all the different markets, where it could be different in each one. And then each agent actually has their own website as well, underneath the umbrella. So I had that with my all-in-one, but it was super generic. I wasn't happy with it. So I met with you guys. You guys said we can build out each agent's website. You can build out your website. Each one can be a little different. They actually have access to all this stuff. So that in itself was unbelievable. Freddie, the designer, did exactly what I wanted, and he is such a hard worker. I remember the first time he delivered the first website, it was actually on Thanksgiving. And that real estate, you only don't work on Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's really it. I worked on Thanksgiving because he delivered it to me, and it was mind blowing. So his hard work was unbelievable. Yeah, super cool. So we tweaked it, we did it, and then it was exactly what I wanted. It was more than exactly what I wanted. So then I thought, okay, so now I have this website. I started interviewing every CRM in the world, not even just. I had Salesforce. I had everybody. I was just I got to figure out this, because I have a WordPress website now. I'm going to have a WordPress website, custom. So it has to talk to my CRM. Probably after about 10 or 11, I just got kind of tired. Everybody was saying the same stuff when it came to the CRM. They said, you get this and then you get our website. And I was like, I figured out my website. I don't need my website. And they kept pushing their website, every single one. So then what happened was, talking to you guys, Freddie, everybody on AgentFire just kind of slowly started recommending Follow Up Boss, right? Why don't you just look at Follow Up Boss? I was like, okay, well, I have a meeting with them, and I met with them, and it was good. But to be honest, every CRM kind of starts to feel the same. Especially, I was doing 2 or 3 a day, and I was just overwhelmed. So, but I kept, every single person I talked to said Follow Up Boss. And then I got online and started researching Follow Up Boss like crazy. And it just seems like nobody was upset with it. Nobody was frustrated with it. Everybody was kind of a cheerleader for Follow Up Boss. So with the free trial, how do you not sign up for that? I was like, well, let's see if it works, right? So that was the solution I needed for Follow Up Boss. Was I needed to see all my markets, all my agents. I had Nashville, Louisville, Orlando, right? And nobody else offered that. I had it in my all-in-one, but it was so, the technology was not where it needed to be. It just couldn't talk to each other. I was super confused. I didn't understand it. They didn't understand it. I would try to get customer service involved. They were just like, well, you're different than everybody else. I was like, I'm not that different. We just have teams in different markets. It's not that big of a deal. So the best solution with Follow Up Boss is that I could see every team. I could break up my teams. I can route anything I need to it. Their websites go there. The Nashville Home Squad goes to that Follow Up Boss. The Louisville goes to that. Orlando goes. It was super seamless. And then also just the fact that the API is so smart. The fact that I can plug in anything. We use, they're not on here, but we use a digital business card. And when you do it, you give out your digital business card, there's a link that goes to their website, and then you get a Follow Up Boss notification. It's insane how much you can just drive people to that same CRM. And I also drive them to the beautiful website you guys created. So those two were already talking, right? So that was that part of it. And then AgentFire and Follow Up Boss both started recommending Dippidi. Just naturally, you guys were just like, I was like, I need to get a good marketing thing going. I could figure out Google PPC, but I don't really want to, and everybody just started talking about Dippidi. And, I was like, I don't even know what that word means, but I'll figure it out, give him a chance. So I ended up talking to Austin, and it blew my mind just how much, again, I wanted everything so customizable. Real estate is so saturated, and there's so many good agents out there. And I just didn't want to do the exact same thing that everybody else was doing, because why? That doesn't make sense. So again, I already have the customizable website. I have the customizable CRM, and then Dippidi, the fact they're like, we actually are going to get these ads going for you, but you're going to be pretty much in charge of telling us what you want. Our brand is very different, and they customize it exactly what we wanted from PPC. I also did social media ads, and they made the ad look kind of like a cartoon, which fits our brand completely. It's not like everybody else's. and they're bringing leads into the CRM and doing all that. So the fact that I could seriously create the three-headed monster, but completely branded to what I want and completely customizable. I can change it. I can add for Follow Up Boss, I can add an Austin team if I wanted to. You can do whatever you want. Like, you know what I mean? With AgentFire, I can say, hey, that we have a new market and this can just carbon copy it and make it more Texas or more Minnesota. I don't care. Or if I have a new agent, I just email Freddie and they do it up. It's already built out. So now it becomes extremely scalable. The growth is easy. I already put all the stuff in place. And now I can with Dippidi, we just added Jacksonville to our Dippidi. It's super easy, right? So here you go. Here are the cities. Have at it. Let's bring leads in. So
yeah,
that's the journey.
So that's great. So yeah, just to give you guys a little bit of kind of the philosophy of AgentFire and how we are able to tie in with Dippidi and Follow Up Boss. I was actually a real estate agent. That's how I began my career, and I built a website for myself. And I was just really upset with the options that were out there, and especially in an age now where you can connect technology seamlessly. So, and this is, you mentioned WordPress. AgentFire is actually built on WordPress, but we don't advertise it or tell anyone that anymore just because it creates more confusion but basically people, when you hear WordPress, you know you're dealing with a really quality, like scalable solution, right? And this is how AgentFire is able to put out so many new features and keep our features updated and just consistently be on the cutting edge of wherever the technology is thanks to this like WordPress backend. And so, and our philosophy is very simple, which is like, listen, we're going to do the website. We're going to do that better than anyone else. So we're talking about the individual features within the website. We're talking about the actual success tools within the website. We just did a whole success training series with Tom Ferry that's available through our dashboards that shows how to get awesome results with all of our individual features based on what Tom Ferry feels are the best strategies for 2022 and beyond. And we also have success managers. We have the best support team in the industry. And so, our focus is on just the website and the driving success with the website. Then when it comes to PPC, whereas with a lot of other companies, you get just a very generic sort of experience. Like they'll usually have some Google PPC stuff set up, but it's very generic, right? I mean, if you're, and you probably understand this, having worked with traditional all-in-one solutions, they're basically just copying and pasting your stuff into the same campaigns that they're running for everyone else. And then if they have a CRM, like there's no way that they're going to have an awesome website, awesome PPC, and an awesome CRM. Like maybe one of those things is going to be a little bit better than the other two, but you're basically going to get something that's just really watered down, especially for it to be able to work together. And one of the big things with a lot of all-in-ones as well is bugs, and just like really poor customer experience. I think that's when you look at the reviews for AgentFire, for Follow Up Boss, for Dippidi, you look at some of Dippidi's recent case studies. I mean, you see the like, you can't hide when a company is not good and like a company that's really good, like they're going to have, like they should have like a 4.9, 5.0 star rating, like anywhere, and like ideally on Google and Facebook or review platforms that are a little bit more authentic, let's say. So that's some information as far as just like the philosophy and how we're able to tie into some of the other solutions. As far as specifically with AgentFire and what Mark did, I think this will be valuable for again, teams and small brokerages that are really looking to make technology an aggressive part of centerpiece of what they're doing. Let me just share my screen real quick. So what Mark did is basically he had a custom website. 1 second, share the screen. So we basically built him a custom website. So Mark already had like this. Mark has a theater background. He's a unique guy. Let me actually make this full screen.
I was going to hold it.
So I mean, you can see he's got a unique style, and like I think I want to just really highlight here as well. Like when you do the same things that everyone else is doing, there's no way you're going to get amazing results. Like you may be able to get good results, but you're not going to be able to get amazing results. You have to the best opportunities are out there in the corners. And so Mark, by having this like unique style, every one of his individual agents is like it's basically presented like a superhero. What we did is we set up the core custom website for OrlandoHomesquad.com. And then for his individual agents, we're basically taking this design and applying it to their individual agent websites. Whereas with a traditional all-in-one solution, you just get a very watered down website that's like stripped of all the core features and just like very generic. With AgentFire, what we're able to do is basically give his individual team members like a full AgentFire website. So the design that they're starting with is still like very unique, and we're actually taking this again and customizing it, so we're saving on a lot of the initial work and still ending up with a really custom end result. But then if the individual team members want to scale the website with, let's say they want to work with Dippidi, they want to I think these websites all come with Up Boss, but they're able to basically scale the website infinitely. So instead of just like just a watered down solution, they're getting the full AgentFire experience that they can take and scale as they want to. And so as a team leader, as a small brokerage, like this is an extremely attractive offer from a technology, from a technology perspective. And so again, this core design we're using as the basis for the individual team members and for his individual offices. So as Mark mentioned, he's got new offices in, what did you said? New York, Long Island's the newest one, Nashville,
Jacksonville, Louisville, and Jacksonville. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing. Where are you expanding to next? Just curious. What's on
I don't know yet. We're trying to. It's one of those things where we're trying to scale this team anywhere, man.
Mark's probably about to colonize Mars. Is what's going to happen.
Awesome. Yes, I mean that's pretty much AgentFire in a nutshell. Austin, you want to talk a little bit about? Yep. Sorry, go for it.
Well, I was going to say really quick. The cool thing about that, the two things you were talking about, was the website. Yes, it's customizable, but the important thing is that we're in Orlando, Nashville, Louisville, and to be honest, real estate's very localized. So you guys do make the website extremely local, and customizable. So if you click on Claremont, Florida, the area to do it, I have a little video on Claremont, Florida. It's embedded in there, right? So it's super local. It gives stats on how many home sales, what's there to do. So each one, if you try to go to Celebration, on that map.
Okay.
Click on
this is a click map, by the way, which is like one of our most popular.
That's so cool.
Add-on,
and that's a custom design. So you can see there's like SeaWorld in there. So again, you go here, we have our video that we did on Celebration, and you can scroll down, and it has just that, and then it also has like best restaurants, I think, too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is our neighborhood guide system. This is another
cool
core feature at AgentFire, and yeah, what's really cool about it is as Mark mentioned, you can feature listings. We've got we're automatically pulling in like the best, the most relevant demographic data. These descriptions are actually white hat, like automatically generated just based on data, and then you can go and you can customize them. You can add your own photos, videos. We've got integration with Yelp down here, so you can actually if you're really looking to make a hyperlocal website, you can actually make these like your top picks instead of just defaulting to whatever Yelp is suggesting in each of these individual categories. Schools, you can tag blog posts to these pages. Each one of these pages has an automated market report, which you can actually use in conjunction with your Dippidi PPC marketing. So you can advertise these automated market reports on Facebook, on Google. We have a lot of clients doing that, having a lot of success there.
So the cool thing about this is that, again, we're not driving people to like, you want to see 123 Main Street, right? It's more like, hey, here's this information on this area you're curious about living in or moving to, or already live there, to be honest. You already live there. You want to know more about it. And then again, you have that connect to Facebook, connect with Google, that clicks, and it goes right into Follow Up Boss. We know that they looked at the Celebration report, right? So then we're like, great, they want to know about Celebration. That's so much a better phone conversation to call and be like, hey, I saw you're interested in Celebration, as opposed to, I'll meet you at 123 Main Street. Hopefully you'll be my client, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because with Follow Up Boss, I'm sure Dan will speak to this later, but Follow Up Boss has this amazing pixel, which basically shows. Dan, you actually want to explain that?
Yeah, he should. That thing's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So kind of we started Follow Up Boss like 10 years ago, and all-in-ones really kind of had to be the solution then, because there was no APIs. There were like different vendors weren't integrating with each other. And so we just always took the approach of like, we'll build the CRM part. And over the years, we had a lot of, website providers build integrations with us, but there was still tons of them out there that just didn't have the time or the resources. And then you even have to maintain integrations and stuff like that. So yeah, we decided to just build a pixel, like similar to like if you drop like the Facebook pixel or like Google Analytics on your website, just a bit of JavaScript to drop on any website. And essentially what we're doing is like when someone fills out a form, we start tracking that person on the site, and then just what pages they're looking at, so that, again, like when you're talking with them, you actually know, oh, they're interested in this part of Orlando, or, you know, maybe they're in, you know, different part of the country or whatever. So, yeah, you know, that's something we came out with, I think about 2 years ago now. And yeah, you can, like, the other thing that sort of happens a lot, I think, Mark, you're smart. You seem to focus everything around like this sort of like one site strategy, and then you have your agent sub sites. But some people have like sites from like, I don't know, 5 different vendors, and, you know, they've got websites all over the place. So again, we're sort of not limited. Like, that pixel can just be installed everywhere. Maybe an agent that is on your team has their own site. They could still install it there. And yeah, it just gives you more intel, basically, like who's coming back to the site, you know, all that kind of good stuff.
No, it's amazing. Like, so as marketers, right, your goal is yin and yang with sales, right? So our job is to bring in opportunities for salespeople. And when they do that, you have to be able to kind of quantify and show like, hey, this person's worth calling. This person's been back to your website. So having tools, one, from AgentFire to be able to do lead capture, there's unbelievably amazing tools on the AgentFire platform with the engage cards, like you saw on Mark's website. There in the bottom right, they have this new video engage card, and you can record it in vertical video, you can record it in horizontal video, and you can literally like do it, you know, time it to where as somebody's visiting a certain page, maybe it's that celebration page, well, you can now have a video pop up of Mark talking about celebration. Hey, thanks for jumping on this page. Make sure you click right here to download the guide. And it could pop up right next to that guide, and Mark could be pointing at the guide. And then they come into the system, become a lead, and go into Follow Up Boss. And when you have the Follow Up Boss tracking pixel installed, I now know that person came in. But if I have campaigns set up for remarketing on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, Google, wherever it is, where you're remarketing your website visitors, you're remarketing your database, well, now I can get those people to come back to the website and not even just download anything else, just explore the site and see how we can get them to come back and forth. And so that way, now when our team's there to call these leads, these salespeople are calling these leads, they know what they're doing, what they're looking at. So it gives them a background when they're reaching out, to not make it such like a scripted call, but more so like come from a point of contribution where you're able to already know what they're looking and kind of thinking based off of the pages they have explored on your website through the Follow Up Boss pixel. So that's kind of like Dippidi in a nutshell, would be the fact that we're able to help set up like custom lead generation and branding campaigns. But honestly, we're only as good as the tech stack we're provided. And that's what makes it such a great trio, is the fact that we have all these different tools at the disposal of AgentFire and Follow Up Boss, from the APIs, the automations in Follow Up Boss, all the lead capture tools, that allows us to be at a better point to get success for our clients when it comes to building out custom branded lead generation and branding campaigns.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I just want to really highlight, just again, with an all-in-one, you're getting just a very generic copy and paste sort of experience across the board. And with the combination of AgentFire, Dippidi, and Follow Up Boss, there's two things I really want to focus on. One is like, we just work together so well, right? So AgentFire has the website. We have 10 core tools. Like the tools that are primarily used with Dippidi, I would say, are our lead pages, our Engage CTA, which right now we're showing you some CTAs on the screen. We basically create any sort of CTA, and the way that our system works is that we create the CTAs that are most likely to convert on specific types of pages. So it's not so much that we just like create a generic CTA and then just target it randomly within the website, but like we're constantly testing to see like what are the highest converting CTAs based on the type of page, right? So, you know, is it a buyer page, seller page, a blog page? And then, so not only do we like work together really well and all use each other's tools, but again, like if you're someone who's building your own tech stack, right? You're building your own like complete solution. It's also nice that you can go out and you can kill one of us if you need to and replace it with something else, right? So if I die climbing a mountain or something and someone takes over and AgentFire just becomes horrible, like you can swap out the website for a different solution and still have that plug into Dippidi for PPC and Follow Up Boss for CRM. And it's just really nice to be able to have that sort of flexibility.
The cool thing that I like what you guys are doing with why we're even here talking is the fact that I feel like I researched a lot and I created this all-in-one solution, right? Or like I hired you guys all separately, and then you guys all were recommending each other because like they're really good, they're really good, they're really good. And now you guys it seems like you're coming out with this all-in-one package, which is That's exactly what those other things do. They just put it under the same umbrella. You guys are also good at your own individual like thing. You're masters at it. So now you guys are creating this giant force that is going to really disrupt everything, because right now, everybody, I think, to be honest, wants what this is. They just don't know it truly exists. You know what I mean? Because they do the other one because they're like, you get this great website and you get this CRM and blah. They don't hold a candle to what you guys are doing all individually. To be honest, like the CRM Follow Up Boss, even if I didn't have AgentFire or Dippidi, like the action plans and the automations and how simple it is, it's the most simple CRM out there, even though it's super robust. But they have it where, Dan, you guys have done such a great job of like making it so customizable with those smart lists. Like I can just go on and go through the list. I know who I'm supposed to call on these days and these days and these days. And then I move on with my day. I say when I'm talking to people about Follow Up Boss, I'm like, it lets you forget about people, right? So that's the best part about it. You can just forget about people. You just go in and you're like, oh yeah, right. This person I met at an open house and these are all the notes. I'll just call them real quick. They didn't answer, whatever. You know, I see they're on my website, right? Yeah. So you guys are all, and Dippidi, same thing. Just like, it is like you guys just created this generic thing that's the most opposite of generic you can get.
Awesome. So I think I'd love to hear in a little bit more detail the sort of benefit and results you're getting with Dippidi and with Follow Up Boss, maybe in that order.
Sure.
Just like, hey, what are some of the working with Dippidi? Let's start there. Like, what are some of the core things you think you're? What do you really like, and where are you seeing the most success?
Yeah, with Dippidi, I would say the beginning part of it, where I got to have a lot of say in what our ads were and what they look like and what the call to action actually is, as opposed to like, I want a Google PPC ad, click, right, and they just charge you. I know exactly what's out there, what's happening. I see the social media ads. They give it to me before they let me preview it before they put it out there. And then also I work with Jared, who runs all of our ads. He called me one day. We had social media ads going. He's like, look, I'm not seeing a great return on this. It doesn't feel like you're spending the right amount of money here. Why don't we do this? Why don't we make it free for people to come to your website, because it's such a great website. And then when they go on there, they'll hopefully click something. They'll go into Follow Up Boss, blah, blah, blah. He's like, we can't really track what the social media leads are, but I do think it's going to create a better result system. But unfortunately, you won't be able to see if we're kicking ass or not, but just know that it's happening. And that phone call right there changed. That was probably a month in to our relationship. And I was like, nobody else does that. Nobody else says like, hey, we're going to change this. You're not going to really see that we did awesome at it, but I just think it'll be better for your business. So that was crazy. And then also I saw an ad on Facebook that I was like, oh, that's from another agent. I was like, that's cool, but I think I can make it better. So I just sent it to Jared. I was like, can you make this better for us? And he's like, yeah, give me a day. And he did. And it's out there in the world. And all of our agents are like, this is an awesome ad. I was like, yeah, no, they just customize it so quick, so fast, and makes it your own. So that's what I love. And also Austin, like I have his cell phone number. Not that everybody, once they get so big, you can't do that all the time. But like I literally can text and be like, hey, I have an idea. Can we meet? And they listen to my ideas about marketing. They're the pros, but at the same time, they know that it's my business and they respect that. And they're like, yeah, let's make it work. We have 3 or 4 things kind of on the fire right now that I want to do for the website. And then also every time I have an idea, they're like, great. Yeah, we know AgentFire can do it. Like there's no question about it. So it's not like, well, call your website guy and see if you can figure it out. Like there's no question. So they're just very customizable. With Follow Up Boss specifically, like I just said, it is the simplest way to follow up with people. Like you couldn't get a better name for that, that CRM, like literally, because they hold true to it. Like it's fascinating the community that they've built as well through the Facebook group, and just everybody knows Follow Up Boss, and you're like in this cool club if you're with Follow Up Boss. And you don't realize it till you're in it, but everybody shares. Like it's such an interesting thing of they let everybody share their action plans. Action plans are the basically like, and it's super customizable. So if a lead comes in, I have it where instead of just sending emails, right? Because you're not going to sell a house by selling emails. It's in there, but I have tasks for the agent, like call this lead ASAP. And then a day will pass, be like, find them on social media, friend them on there. And that's a task, not just call them and just bug them, right? It's creating this relationship with them. So, and then also it says, it's just fascinating how smart their platform is on, if you contact somebody and they're in a hot prospect, let's say they're a hot prospect, if you call them, they disappear for 3 days off your list, off this list. The smart lists are so cool. And then in 3 days they pop back up and you're like, oh yeah, Bob, right. Shit, I gotta call him. Sorry, I cursed, but I gotta call him. You know what I mean? So like, it's just, and the sphere, like every 90 days you call them, you email, call, or text them. They disappear for 90 days and then they reappear in 90 days. You're like, well, that was super great. I need to call them. I haven't called them in 90 days. So I need to put them on my list and call them. And it just keeps everything super organized when it comes just to talking to people, which that's what every real estate agent needs. We're so unorganized with that stuff, So those are my two. Those two are just blow me away every day. It's awesome.
Awesome. Let's start with Austin. Anything you want to add there as far as some of the stuff Mark mentioned and just kind of Dippidi's unique value in the space?
Yeah. Well, first off, thanks, Mark. I appreciate the words of recognition. I would say that's what makes us different is our service. And, all of us, the entire team at Dippidi, actually, none of us have a sales background. None of us have, a tech background necessarily, even though we're kind of technical. We all have a service background and, a drive to learn and sharpen our axe and enhance it for our clients. So that's really what I think makes us different is the obsession over the client experience and, keeping it as a friend, but also like Mark says, an expert, we call ourselves nerds. We're just trying to learn and serve. So, just trying to day to day, make sure we're doing right by our clients and giving them the best experience possible so they can get a return on their ad spend and a return on their advertising, I think is what ultimately makes us different.
Awesome. And then Dan, so Mark mentioned a lot of individual features that he's using at Follow Up Boss. Anything you want to expand on there? And also one question, what's one feature that Follow Up Boss has that Mark didn't mention that you think he should be using?
You could upgrade to annual to save money. So
I literally almost did that 2 days ago. I clicked it and I was like, I'm using it, right? You should just do it. Yeah,
you could do that anytime. Two features that I think he's really using at a high level. He mentioned he has teams in different locations, so we have a teams feature. So he has them set up as different teams, for Orlando and the other areas that he's in. So I think that's really smart. And, a good model for people that are building these expansion teams, but they don't have like hundreds of people in each location. The other thing he's using like pretty well from looking at his account is like our phone system. So we can essentially replace like a Ring Central, something like that. And he's using it again, sort of in a segmented way where, he has Louisville, Nashville, Orlando, like all different like numbers for those areas. And I'm sure different people in his team that look at those. So, that's something where I see some of our clients like sleeping on the phone system. And I'm like, that's just like, just like inbound calls. You guys do all this marketing, right? And the website looks amazing and the phone number's up on the website. And then a lot of the time, I think those calls go into some other tool like Ring Central or whatever. And maybe they don't leave a voicemail. And so then that call just kind of gets lost. Whereas like when you route it all into Follow Up Boss, every single phone call, even if it's just a missed call, ends up in the CRM, and that's really easy to add it as a contact. So I just think that's something which, we can see the data, we can see it that, maybe half our clients are using the phone system at a high level and the rest could really, I think it's like an easy win just to use it for your, outbound and inbound calls. And then you really just have this full history of, everything that's going on. I don't do it nowadays, but I used to always look at our sales teams like in inbox because I'm like, okay, if there's a bunch of calls in there they haven't been able to answer, that means I need more salespeople, right? Or they're busy or they're on holidays or something, but it's a problem, right? And sort of if there's nothing in there, then like maybe we need to start doing more marketing or whatever. So I think just, the phone system and just having visibility into that is something people should be looking at.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Dan, because we actually at Dippidi use Follow Up Boss as our CRM even though we're not a real estate agency, we're a marketing agency, but we use Follow Up Boss one for a coachability standpoint to be able to know the CRM to coach to clients. But ultimately, it's amazing. We can even install it. We have AgentFire as our website. So if you go to dippidi.com, AgentFire built our website, and we use Follow Up Boss as our CRM. And just simply because the tools they have are amazing. But we use the phones a lot, and it's one of my favorite features because we have a company number, so we can put that out there in our marketing, so we can see inbound phone calls that come in or are missed, or if you can answer them right there. And then you can also track and do call recording, see how many dials your agent's making. And what's super important about how many dials your agent's making is you can actually now, if you like track every transaction all the way through in Follow Up Boss, you can show your agent like, hey, how much commission did you make this month? All right, well, how many dials did you make total? And you can then divide commission by dials and say, look, I know not every phone call that you're making somebody picks up, and not every phone call that you're making people are having great conversations, but here's how much commission you made this month, and here's how many dials you made. You're making $25 every time you call. And so like it's a way to encourage people, to let them know that, hey, just because not every phone call is great that you're making, you're still making money every time you do it. So it's really cool to do the call tracking that way.
Yeah, with the other thing, there's two other things Follow Up Boss we use a lot, and the scoreboard is super cool. You can see who's calling, who's doing it, and we have, again, all these different agents in different cities, so it's fun for them to stay connected that way. But also the lead routing can be so specific. My other CRMs, it was just a lead would come in, I'm like, I feel like this is a really good lead, so this should go to some of these agents, or this is a lead, you know, so newer agents should get some of these leads, or whatever it is. But the way that you guys have built it out, like this lead can come in for a seller, and then it can be a different action plan or a different campaign, or, you know, and same with, and I have all these cities and all these websites, and it's all set up. I don't have to go in and change much, right? It's just there. And so that's fascinating to me too, because it's super specific, and you can make it as customizable as possible. It's cool.
Awesome. So yeah, I think at this point, what I'd love to do is maybe start to conclude a little bit. But to conclude, I think it would be cool if each person talks about a specific like value point that they can give to agents, teams, small brokerages that are watching this video, and yeah, what's like one thing you'd really want them to know that can help them? And I'll start. So, man, I think we covered a lot of really good stuff in this webinar. What I would say is, Mark mentioned earlier that a lot of agents and teams and small brokers they're kind of like looking to put together this sort of solution, but they don't even really know what to call it. And ultimately, like, what you're building here is a machine, right? It's a machine. It's like when you go to sleep, it's still running. When you wake up, it's when you go on vacation, it's running. And like any good machine, well, I think like most good machines, you can take out parts and replace them with other parts, and you can go upgrading parts. And the idea is not to not to go with something that's just static and never grows. But this thing is like, you're constantly scaling it. And like, especially when it comes to conversion, like the best conversion systems are where you get them working well, and then every week you get them to work like 1% better. And if you just continue to do that like every single week, or even every single day, and you can do that, you can go into Follow Up Boss, you can update an email to link people to your custom buyer or seller pages. You guys are doing a lot of recruiting. Obviously, you guys are growing a lot, so we have some like a really good recruiting page set up for you. You guys are doing a ton of stuff with video, and we're using a lot of that video stuff on the AgentFire website. You always like, especially if as a real estate professional, if you're doing anything, you want to get the maximum result for the thing that you're doing. And so like if you're setting up a video, you don't want to just record a video and then just put it onto YouTube. You want to set up that video, maybe link it in some of your emails, wherever it makes sense, sort of your automated emails, have it on your website, on whatever pages it makes sense. You mentioned a video you did for celebration. So to have it on that page, to have an email that goes out where maybe it's celebration spotlight, a newsletter, I think is fantastic. Like tying this stuff into your newsletter, like everyone should have a newsletter. Yeah, I think there's a pretty big consensus here that the CRM that you use is just like so like so important, especially getting those like high quality personalized follow-up emails set up, where you have different emails that are going to buyers and sellers, where again, it's not generic, where they're like highly personalized, and they allow you to just deliver value at scale. Super important. We actually use Follow Up Boss as our CRM as well. And so anyway, yeah, those are the kind of the things that I'd like to, the main things that I really want people to know. Also, maybe the last thing is just like being memorable. It's really, it doesn't take that much extra effort to be memorable. I mean, you show a little bit of personality. In Mark's case, he's got, again, the whole like superhero theme, custom illustrations. I mean, if you're looking at 10 different real estate ads, and you look at Mark's ad, like Mark's ad is going to stand out. And that should be the objective. Anytime you do anything is to, you want to try to find like systems that work, and then just personalize them, customize them, make them your own, and really deliver value in a unique way that where you're just standing above everyone else. So that's my little contribution. Let's go Dan and then Austin.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing people need to be doing is getting their systems in place, building their database. Even if you're a single agent and like, you know, maybe you want to build a team in future, or you just want to stay a single agent, like a database is like an asset, you know, for your business. And, you know, whether you have tons of past clients or just people, you know, I would start building that database and, you know, try and gamify it a little bit. Like if you've got 1,000 people in your database, like, great, let's set a goal of 5,000. Or if you got 5,000, let's try and get to 25,000. And then doing some of the things that Mark talked about in this call, like setting up a list. Okay, here's my sphere, here's my past clients, and then every 90 days, just staying in touch with them. I think these are the kind of things that everyone knows they should be doing, but they maybe don't have a system or a way to do it easily. So, you know, I just think you should invest in technology and, you know, really start getting some of those things dialed in so that, you know, you can leverage tools like email marketing and, you know, all the cool stuff we talked about. Oh, like one of my past clients maybe just came back to my website, or I'm watching these leads, like, let's give them a call because I can see what they're doing. So, you know, I think just, yeah, build a database, build systems, try and get your phone system dialed in as well. So that, like, you're not trying to just manage everything on your phone. And then, yeah, like just, you know, put in the hard work and, you know, stand out.
Awesome. Yeah, just also really quick, with regards to databases, like that's like the name of the game, right? It is like building your database, because every year, and these are numbers from Tom Ferry, and I believe they're correct, but 10% of your database is going to move, right? Because people tend to move every 10 years, and at least a third of your database should be able to send you a referral. So, I mean, when you look at those numbers and you extrapolate them over, you know, if you start out with a database of 100 people, that's 10 people that are going to move this year. 1,000 people, that's 100 people. 10,000 people, that's 1,000 people. So, I mean, it's properly setting up systems, like Dan mentioned, to like really properly manage your database so that over time you're doing a lot less work and getting like a much greater result. Austin, what's your final takeaway piece of advice that you want real estate professionals watching this video to understand?
Yeah, I think it would be, first off, a mindset when it comes to marketing overall. And if you go watch, me and Mark actually did a case study video similar to this. And we talk a lot on there about something Mark really liked was remarketing. And the fact that his brand is being shouted at the, you know, top of a mountain for him while he's sleeping. And, you know, so I think it's very important when it comes to marketing and investing in marketing to see it as an investment and not an expense. And to understand that every single dollar you're pouring into it, as long as you're pouring it into right channels, and what I believe in is multi-channel marketing or omni-channel marketing, that you're creating this like wheel of ongoing branding, lead generation. Like there's different spokes in the marketing wheel, and they all have different objectives. They all have different goals and different wins for each one of them. Yeah, if you're running a Google PPC campaign, you may want to be getting a lead out of that dollar spent so you can get a cost per conversion and get a new acquisition in there for a new lead. But then if that lead comes there and they leave, what happens next? And so to me, I think it's important that you set up multi-channel on all these various platforms, on social media or search engines or in even email, right? So you're needing to have something set up where you're everywhere and you're constantly providing value in some sort of way, whether you're providing value for information or providing value just to stay top of mind or to give somebody information or to entertain them, being funny. Like if you go watch some of Mark's YouTube videos, he's educating, but he's also putting his personality into there. So what does that do? That's giving value from education, but it's also giving trust, because you can tell like Mark's a funny guy. So it's a way for people to just genuinely see who you are. And if you're just going all in on one channel, it can still work and your advertising budget can be spent wisely. But if you're going everywhere, you have a better opportunity for your business to be known, gain trust with them, and then gain consideration for them to begin working with you.
Awesome, man. So I guess maybe Mark, what's your final piece of advice for teams that are just really looking to, what's like the one most important thing that you would say has contributed to your success?
I would say the customization of everything has been so vital. I've been wanting it for a long time. I feel like a lot of, especially team leaders or brokerages or even single agents that just want to stand out. The biggest thing is we always want to stand out. How are they going to choose me? Obviously, we have scripts and we know how to handle objections and we're building relationships, but what's really going to make me stand out? And all three of these solutions have helped me elevate that at a really high level at a quick rate too. So, and I don't have to think much with you guys. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't, you guys have taken all the stress away, which is a huge part of it. I don't have to worry about what my ads look like. I don't have to worry about if my agents are following up with people. I don't have to worry about like, do I need to change my website? I didn't have to learn anything. I just had to call each one of you and set up an appointment and then pay you, right? So that's it. So I mean, I've hired, like, you know what I mean? Everybody's like, how big's your team? I'm like, well, you guys are a part of my team. You know what I mean? So it's created such a customization situation that is nobody else offers that. You can't get it anywhere else.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. I think really, as anyone that's building a team, a small brokerage, you want technology to be something that like really sets you up. It is something that you're able to use that can really set you apart from all of the other teams and small brokerages that you're competing with. And when you have like a unique solution in place that, I mean, like commissions are great, right? Like reputation is great, but like knowing as someone, as an agent coming into a team, that there's an established system there that's going to be able to help me generate much better results than I was able to generate on my own. And it's all just kind of already set up and figured out. That's just really attractive, you know? So, all right, guys. So just, I'm going to, at the very end here, talk about how you can combine all three of our solutions. But as far as, so for Dippidi, Austin, where can people go to find more information?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say the best place to go, we don't hide nothing. Everything's out there on our website on www.dippidi.com. It is Dippidi. It's a little bit of a weird word, just like Mark said earlier today, but you can go on the website there. There's tons of information about each of our packages, examples of work, case studies, testimonials, and also an ability for you to schedule an appointment with our team, where we honestly, it's a strategy call. A lot of the first time calls, it's not to pitch you, it's actually to learn what you're looking for, because as Mark said, everybody comes in with a different goal. And so that's kind of the goal of that call is to learn what is it you're looking for. Or honestly, if you come in there and you have no idea, that's where we can kind of take that moment to learn, okay, well, here's some of the things based off of what you said you could do. So go to dippidi.com and check it out and schedule a call with us.
Awesome. Dan, where can people find out more about Follow Up Boss?
Yeah, it's just followupboss.com. You know, we're a little bit the same, like all our pricing's on our website. You know, you can look into like all the different features we have and, you know, the blog and stuff like that. But yeah, we've got the free trial up there. So you can just start a free trial. It's very quick to get up and running with. And then, you know, we invest a lot in support and success as well. So, you know, I think we're up to like 50 people on our success and support teams. And, you know, we're always hiring more people. So we kind of, you know, I think sometimes moving CRMs is like this daunting thing that people have in their minds, but it's actually easier than you think. So, and you know, we're there to help as well. So.
Awesome. And for more information on AgentFire, you can check out agentfire.com. Again, our entire philosophy is this like 3-level stack approach. So everything starts with the website. We have lots of different customization options. We have our express setup, semi-custom, and then custom, which is what Mark set up for his team. If you're a team member, small brokerage, and you want to have like an initial design that we can then take and then use for your individual team members and brokerages, again, that's an option. You can learn more at agentfire.com. You can schedule a demo, which is what I would probably recommend above anything else, because you'll be able to speak to someone who will be able to understand your unique goals, your specific situation. In Mark's case, you know, he's doing a lot of video stuff. He's got this unique brand. He wanted to be able to, you know, manifest it within all of the different things he does online. And, you know, he had very unique things that we were able to figure out, like, okay, this is how we build you the perfect solution. And then finally, if you visit agentfire.com/trio, you can learn about the a combined package featuring AgentFire for the website, Dippidi for PPC marketing, and Follow Up Boss for CRM. When you go with the combined package, you get discounts on AgentFire and Dippidi, and you get an extended free trial through Follow Up Boss. So check out that page for more information. Guys, anyone else have anything they want to add, or should we say goodbye?
No, everybody go do it. Instead of going to those all-in-one solutions, just do this. And if anybody, like for real, anybody's watching this and wants to talk to me personally about it, I can give you more testimonial, more things that, more opinions and stuff. So I'm always available as well.
Awesome. You're the man. And where can people find you on, I guess let's go with Instagram.
Yeah, sure. I'm the Orlando Real Estate Ninja on Instagram, and I'm on, we're on OrlandoHomeSquad.com, NashvilleHomeSquad.com, and you can find me anywhere. Just Google my name.
Awesome. All right. Mark, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Dan, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you again soon in another webinar with another awesome success story.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.